This is the Little Prairie Club, and it's a place where things have happened since the 1800s, as I understand.
Battery is still a major
Theater, speakers, music. Theater, speakers, music. And there is another beautiful big painting.
Oh yeah.
And, of course, the audience.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's play. My name is Courey, sponsored by Calvin College Release Club, the Calvin College History Department, the Healing Children of Conflict, Peace Means organization from Grand Valley State University, as well as the Middle East Education Project of IGE. Today's play is going to run for 80 minutes long and is based off the famous activist Rachel Courey. The original play is directed by Alan Rickman and Catherine Viner. And today's star is going to be Ashley Malloy, and the director is Joshua Kirstein. The first act of this 80-minute play is going to be set in Olympia, Washington, Rachel Courey's hometown. And the second act of this play is from January through March in Rafah, Gaza. Please remember that today's play, though it is free, there is suggested donation for this play, and a basket will be put through at the end of this play, as well as with a question and answer time with the director and the main actress, Ashley and Josh. Also, please do remember that there are 2 exits. In case of a fire emergency, there are 2 exits behind you, 2 exits at the side. I will remind you as well to please turn off your cell phones and silence them for the duration of this play. Please enjoy.
The question is always where to start the story. That is the first question. Trying to find a beginning. Trying to impose order on this crazy, psychotic, fast-forward merry-go-round. Trying to impose order. That's like the first step toward ending up in a park somewhere, painted blue, singing, row, row, row your boat, to an audience of saggy-lip junkies or business people munching oat bran muffins in the park. That is how the story ends, my friends. So if you're interested in the logic, or the sequence of things, or the great crescendo of suspense right up to a great shocker of an ending, well, you must be getting back to your video games. Or your amassing wealth. Leave those meaningless details to the poets, the photographers. And the truth is, they're all meaningless details, my friends. one that I can remember now seems like it would be a really good rule for life. Everyone must feel safe. Safe to be themselves. Physically safe. Safe to say what they think. Just safe. That's the best rule that I can think of. I'm in middle school now, so I guess I've grown up a little. It's all relative anyway, you know? 9 years is as long as 40 years, depending on how long you've lived. I stole that from my dad, but you know, sometimes I think my dad's the wisest person in the whole world. You understand that none of this is even actually true, though, because what I wrote today is true. But then you'll read it by tomorrow or the next day, and by then my whole life will be different. Is that how life is? A new draft for each day? A new view for each hour? When I was in 5th grade, we had this list of questions for our yearbook, and one of them was, what do you want to be when you grow up? So everyone wrote something like doctor, astronaut, Spider-Man, and then you turn the page, and there was my 5-paragraph manifesto on the million things that I wanted to be, from wandering poet to first woman president, and yeah, that's like really cute when you're in 5th grade. But it's 2 years later, and I'm a junior in college, and I still don't have the conviction to cross Spider-Man off my list. Yeah, you can imagine it gets a little nerve-wracking. I am building this world myself. And I am going to put new hats on everyone one by one before I go out. So old and wrinkled that I have to lift the great big flaccid flaps of my eyebrows off my cheeks in order to see. Oh, before I go out, I'm going to have people in tutus, and cops in sombreros, business people with Viking hats, and priests with panties on their heads. See, in this world, everyone's going to have these speakers attached to their chest that pour out music so you can tell from a distance what mood they're in. And no one is going to be your chicken to just get naked when the rain comes. In this world, first ladies will carry handcuffs, and bullwhips, and presidents will wear metal collars, big metal collars with tight leashes. Okay. I'm Rachel. Sometimes I wear ripped blue jeans. Sometimes I wear polyester. Sometimes I just take off all my clothes and I swim naked at the beach. I don't believe in fate, but my astrological sign is Aries, the ram, and my sign on the Chinese zodiac is the sheep, and Rachel means sheep. But I got a fire in my belly, and that fire used to be so big and blazing and loud that I couldn't hear anybody else over it, so I talked a lot, didn't listen too much. And then I went to middle school, where you gotta be cool and strong, gotta be tough. So I tried real hard to be cool. And then luckily, I won a free trip to Russia, and I saw another country for the first time. And in the streets, and in the alleyways, it was like this obstacle course of garbage and mud and graffiti. Everything was dirty. Everything had this layer of coal dust on it. And they always said to us, "Oh, how do you like our dirty city?" And it was so pretty. With the little lights in the windows and this red dust blanket just settled over all of the buildings. It was flawed. It was dirty. It was broken, and it was gorgeous. Pacific Ocean to Olympia, Washington, USA. Some things seemed a little weird. Disconcerting. But I was awake in Russia. I was awake for the first time, with bug eyes and a grin. On the flight home from Anchorage to Seattle, everything was dark. And the sun began to rise. And the water was shining. And I realized we were flying over Puget Sound. Soon the islands began to emerge in the water, the little evergreen trees on those islands, and I sobbed. I sobbed, and all that radiance, in the midst of the most glorious sunrise that I had ever seen. Because it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make me glad to be home. Maybe it was the trees who finally told me to stay. Or maybe going to school in my hometown, it really was just the path of least resistance. Maybe going to the Evergreen State College was just the best way to be different from my economic major high achiever, khaki high heel wearing nearly corporate brother and sister. I don't know. I don't know why I stayed. But one day, I knew I had to. And that was the same day that I decided to be an artist and to be a writer. And I didn't give a shit if I was mediocre. I didn't give a shit if I starved to death. I didn't give a shit if my whole damn high school turned and pointed and laughed in my face, because I was finally awake. Forever and ever. I just heard from Chris in Gaza. I'm being invited there. I need to go. I've been organizing in Olympia for a little over a year now on these anti-war and global justice issues. And it started to feel like this work is missing the connection to the people who are impacted by U.S. foreign policy. I just think we have a right to be critical of government policy, of any government policy, but particularly the policies which we are funding. And yes, I feel pretty isolated in the world. I've lived in Olympia my whole life, and my activism has been extremely tied to Olympia, but I have this need to go to a place and to meet the people who are on the other end of the tax money that's going to fund the U.S. military. So trying to be local, but also respectful of the local, that's a really big part of my ethic, I guess. I didn't intend to become so deeply involved in activism this year. I'm not even sure what compelled me to sign up for local knowledge class, because there's this huge degree of community involvement. I'm phobic of community. I mean, I'm scared of people, particularly people in the greater Olympia area. It's another place where we're few decades ago, a place where hippie kids come after touring with their jam bands. And I've been here my whole life. Almost everyone I know and have known from Olympia came from somewhere else. So I don't think it was my intention to be of any particular use to these communities we were studying. No, I was just looking for these curious facts to flesh out an authentic setting. Trivia. Like, when I worked at Mount Rainier, we followed this woman into the woods. Now, she had become part owl. Her job was to entice them out. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Our job was to just, oh, carry the life nice. Oh. But somehow, after years of doing this spotted owl survey, this woman's larynx changed. I mean, she croaked in a language that was articulated somewhere deeper than tonsils. Her tongue probably changed shape. And we followed her on the northwest side of the mountain all day. And saw no owls. And no owls spoke back at her. But I think about how many of us doing any kind of progressive work in this region, we swim beneath the surface, combing for what was here before, taking inventory of what is now. And there's the chance you will be changed by what you're looking for. I mean, your tongue could change shape like the woman at Rainier. Studying the history of this area roots me, because we've certainly waded in the same water and wandered on the same beaches as very brave people. And that makes bravery seem more possible. We can look at that history and decide, okay, which side do we want to be on? We are not outside. Right now, as far as I can tell, over 1,000 people are being held somewhere in the US, and it's unclear why. They arrest the dirty bomber, someone apparently in the very early stages of planning an attack on the US. And this is big news. But what does this say about the 1,000 other people being held somewhere? That they weren't in the early stages of planning anything. Looking for where I fit into all of this forced me out into the community. You come to take for granted where you belong in a community, because if you have this overactive fantasy life, you can make up just enough unrelated pieces of trivia to hold up your coffee table conversation and never have to think about anything disturbing or demanding of action. Sorry, I'm still pretty shell-shocked by this semester. I spoke to a room of about 40 international students. I helped in the planning of 2 conferences, facilitated meetings, danced down the street with people ages 7 to 70 dressed as doves. I spent a lot of time with the homeless group. I went with them to city council. I went with them to the community conversation. I slept out overnight on May Day. Who is this person? How did I get here? Hey, Mom, can you email to me a list of people who you think it might be good to contact if I get in trouble? Not planning on it. Just friends, family who you think might contact their local congressman. Also maybe people who might be interested in getting information, or at least knowing that I'm going. I'm gonna give the Olympian your number. Please think about your language when you talk to them. I think it was really smart. You were wary of using the word terrorism. And if you talk about the cycle of violence or an eye for an eye, you could actually be perpetuating the idea that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a balanced conflict, when actually it's the 4th most powerful military in the world against a largely unarmed group of people. So these are the kind of things that you need to think about before you talk to reporters.
Okay. I will talk to you tonight.
We have a really involved mother. Sometimes she's just so overly involved. It means we have to kick and claw just to get some autonomy. Scream until we get some space to grow in. Also means we let her take care of things we're completely capable of taking care of by ourselves. I think of my mom as being extremely moralistic. Not in a bad way. There were things that none of us did. Lying, teasing, stealing, just being mean to people. She often wondered, though, if we'd be healthier, better children if she had taken us to church. I think that was a scare tactic. But I know this woman who's decided not to assign her baby a gender until it chooses its own. I think that's kind of nuts, but I guess my mom had the same sort of attitude towards my spirituality. She was determined I would define it for myself. I could write a family history just based on the discoveries I've made over the years. Drawers, cabinets, unfinished baby books, duplicate containers of oregano from houses that we moved out of, placemats that defeated cranberry juice and oyster stew and candle wax. I'm heartbroken when I search my mother's drawers. I'm heartbroken at the way she arranges her jewelry. I know how she returns each earring to its own tiny little box when she's done. Heartbroken at the thought of her standing there in her big bra, her pantyhose stretched over her underwear, rubbing on lipstick, dabbing pink powder into her pores until it agrees to hang on. My mother ages and puts on makeup, slides bracelets across her wrists where the skin is loose. Sometimes she's up there like this Macy's parade balloon. Like, she's so big, she just looms over everything. I know I scare you, Mom. I'm sorry I scare you. But I want to write. And I want to see. And what would I write about? If I stayed inside the doll's house, this flower world I grew up in. You gave me a potential. I love you, but I'm growing out of what you gave me. I'm saving it inside me, and I'm growing outwards. Let me fight my monsters. You made me. You made me. Exactly as much of Colin's memory as I need. The sun was shining. Colin was reading political economy in the green lawn chair. I danced around magnetic fields and mowed the lawn. We walked to school together in the morning. And finally, it rained. Colin wanted me to walk faster. Always wanted me to walk faster. Well, I just wanted to trudge and identify the ferns. I woke up early one morning with errands to run and decided I would bump into Colin and his new hoochie-ass girlfriend. I shaved my armpits. I put on a tight shirt I got in the little boys section of the Salvation Army.